Hello fish fools, Jeff here. So it's been a while since I've been able to show my fish tanks. Really, it's been a while since I've been able to enjoy the aquarium hobby. I haven't been able to spend time to just watch my fish, tend to my fish tanks, and I miss the fishies. But I thought I would go around and show my tanks today. Just kind of a quick overview. Last time I showed this tank, I mentioned how it was leaking. This is my 30-gallon planted live bear community tank, which is probably now considered a 20-gallon tank because it leaks and I don't think I'll be able to fill the water up much beyond this without it leaking. So this has been my main tank, and the population is down far from where it had been at its peak. All the platies and brightest platies are hybrids. There's only one male in this bunch, and it is a small one. Somewhere like a red wag. There it is. That male right there. And as I mentioned in my last video when I showed this, I have no more female guppies in here. So I think I have about 5 of these that are hybrids with I had a yellow male cobra endler, and I did just lose my last Julie corydoras, so there are now no longer any corydoras in here. The roseline shark, that's big. Female dwarf gourami right there. Siamese algae eater. Panda garras, still doing good. These are the last 2 neon tetras. I remember a while back thinking eventually when I had as many as I think 14 is what I had most of, but I remember back then, going back almost 3 years since I set this tank up, thinking that once I lose the rest of the neon tetras that I would not get any more, and I would go with different tetras or rasbors. But now that I'm down to the last 2, I do want to get more, so now I'd like to have a big group of them in here. There's an autosynclus. Glad to see that still doing okay. Remember when I was first getting autosynclus, it was hard to keep them alive, and as bad as conditions are right now, that's still doing well. So I haven't been doing water changes. I don't even know what the nitrate levels might be, or the pH. But yeah, and a lot of the Java moss that filled up this tank is kind of dwindling. And even over here, where I had Java moss, a big bush of it, and there's Riccia fluitans in here, I noticed there's, it's dried up where the water level dropped. Looks like there's some mold right there. That's not good. When I get a chance, I need to tend to that. Yeah, my 30-gallon planted live bear community tank, which is now pretty much a 20-gallon tank. Let's move on to another tank. So here's my 10-gallon mutt guppy tank. There was a time when I had 30 plus guppies in here, and now I believe these are the last 5. one with two platies. That one was born in here. Those are both females. But down to 5 guppies, 3 males and 2 females, and one of the females is not looking so good. So I don't know if I'll be able to maintain a population of those in here. Cherry shrimp, neocaridina shrimp, still a good amount in here, not as much as it has been. And there was a time when there was a big bush of Java moss in here, but that has dwindled down. A little bit left there. Just haven't been adding fertilizer, haven't been, like all my tanks, haven't been doing water changes regularly, haven't been adding fertilizer, haven't been feeding my fish, so that's where we are. This Bacopa got uprooted. This longest time while that was rooted, it wasn't really growing that much. It was up to here, and then it grew, and that was reaching the surface, but then, like I said, it got uprooted. I do have 4 bronze corydoras in here, and those are still doing very well. Yeah. Alright, let's move on to another tank. Here's my 5.5 gallon tank. The light in the hood of this wore out, so this is the light on my phone here on the tank. So guppy, male guppies, still doing okay. Female, there's, I think it might be down to just these 2 white clouds over here. Still plenty of neocaridina shrimp. And yeah, here's another example. Just not doing water changes, and this is just evaporation. I haven't been able to tend to my tanks, but alright, I'm going to move on to another one. Here's my wild guppy and pea puffer tank. Siamese algae eater right there. I did add this, and it has cleaned up all the hair algae that was in here over time. So much less algae in here. It was looking pretty awful. There's a pea puffer. I had as many as 4, and had them. The 4 that I had them did well for over a year. I have since lost 2, so I'm down to 2 of the 4. There's one right there in front. Put a pregnant guppy female in this breeder box, and 2 left, 2 babies left in there. They're pretty much grown, but slowly, because I haven't been feeding them that as much as I would like to. There's a guppy grass, and here's another that water's low. I need to tend to that. And we'll just go straight down below. So this tank, I recently lost one of the black neon tetras. Got some panda garras back there, some fancy guppies, some endlers, platies. I have no idea what the nitrates and pH would be in here because I haven't tested in a while, and I imagine the pH has dropped and the nitrates are probably super high, unfortunately. I do have some Julie corydoras in here. There's one. I'll get it to focus. Oh, you can see the reflection right there. Here's one. And there's pygmy cories in here, autosinkless. Alright. And here's my 29-gallon sailfin molly and swordtail community tank. So we have the mollies. That female molly is not looking so good right there. It's weird, like the mollies kind of seem kind of sickly. They kind of recover some, and they seem sickly again. That male never really was much of the to show its sailfin. Zebra danios in here, roseline shark in here, swordtails. Some of them, a few of those have grown up. These two mollies were born in here. They never, they kind of, I mean, they're pretty old now, but they still aren't quite, didn't quite grow as big as the others. We got panda corydoras. There is shrimp in here, still a few. I'm gonna come around the side to see if we can find any. Alright, so I'm at the side of the tank, so there's a shrimp right there. Has kind of wild coloration. But the shrimp I haven't had in here, they have been reproducing, but I still don't see a lot. And I mean, there's not a lot of plant growth in here for them to hide in. With this area with the rocks, I find some over here sometimes. And right there is a Malaysian trumpet snail. I bought some of those a while back, and there's not a lot, but I have some in here. Blue, powder blue dwarf gourami, looking cool. I love gouramis, how they have those little whisker type fins. All the dwarf baby tears that I had in here, not dwarf baby tears, but baby tears, those didn't last. Bacopa, not really doing much here. I mean, there's like new growth there. The Anubias is doing good. The dwarf Sagittaria, just kind of not doing anything, not growing more, just kind of staying as it is. The entire Aponigeton alvaceus grew it from a bulb, was all up here, that's all gone. Right here, there's a bulb of a crinum thyannium, something like that, an onion plant, and I don't know if maybe I put it in upside down because it just kind of like popped up like this. There's like no growth coming out of it, but maybe it's trying to push its way there. I don't know. I did notice like it was just like a little nub that I stuck in the substrate, but it just kind of pushed up like that, so maybe I'm finally getting growth from that. Alright, let's move on. And here's my 10-gallon guppy and endler hybrid tank. So this is a tank that I've had ongoing battles with hair algae. Haven't really done anything to try to contain that, but now I'm just leaving it as it is. I mean, I haven't had time to tend to my tanks, as I mentioned. And have some pygmy corydoras in here. Now that it's like the Java moss is less bushy, I see the pygmy corydoras swimming around more. Of course, they're not doing as I'm showing them. That female looks like she's gonna drop some babies soon enough. This one is looking kind of not so colorful, but I like it, that male right there. There's a pygmy corydora. I see them swimming around in groups, like where they hover like that. It's pretty cool. And this is a tank that I have a mono shrimp in it, as I don't see any out in the open here, but I think that as I have been feeding as much, I think they are finally eating some of the algae. There's a corydora right there. All right. And here's my 3.5 gallon neocaridina shrimp tank, which is pretty much more of a wild guppy endler hybrid tank. So most of these are from a lime green endler male, one of the guppy endler hybrid females from the tank I showed previous to this, and a wild guppy female. And this is all the mix that they have. This was, before I added those, there was a shrimp in here, and there's, I mean, there still is. There's one right there, but and there's a lot of them that hang out on the filter over here. But the population of shrimp is down, but these guppy endler hybrids are looking cool. Looks like this subwasser tang is getting kind of bushy. And here's another one where the water level is low because I need to tend to that, do a water change. Some of these are really cool looking. So some kind of look like these lime green endlers, and some look like that. Ooh, that one's splashing over here. And then it's like, of course it was like right here where the curve of the tank is, so it distorts the view, and I don't like that part of it. That's about it. But yeah, alright. So that's kind of what's going on with my tanks right now. You know, like I said, just haven't been able to take care of them as much as I would like, but I mean, my passion for the fish keeping hobby is still there. I'm looking forward to the time when I can really have more time and take care of them better and raise some more youngsters, as the populations are down in some of my tanks. But yeah, alright, well that's it for now. And remember, I'm Jeff, and I enjoy fishies. Thanks for watching.